Absolutely. One thing I like that you said earlier is that you said you need to maintain interest in order to stay interesting. And I know that you're definitely one of those guys because you're the clean-cut senator in person, but then what a lot of people don't necessarily know is that you also build motorcycles. So you definitely have that enthusiast base, and you found a way to really marry those and create a career out of that. What advice do you have for Career Spark students on branding themselves and kind of creating that sort of image that stands out?
Well, I think, in branding yourself, again, we talked earlier about, making sure you stand apart by being clean-cut, well-spoken, a good communicator, somebody who's interested and interesting. You dress professionally. And I think that's one of those things that will help you stand out, but also have a real, it's not, a job isn't worth having. I mean, this is a down economy, so everybody's struggling to get jobs. Sometimes we take jobs that aren't exactly what we want to do, but you have to be building toward that goal or that job that you really have a passion for. So, showing employers that passion in your, I guess, your regular life, and how that translates into your work, makes you a much more rounded prospect for as a job candidate. So, for me, it's kind of funny because on our whole the SEMA staff, when I worked for SEMA, there were probably only a few of us who actually worked on our own cars. Or, I'm pretty sure that I may be the only guy who had actually ever built motorcycles or, fabricated motorcycle frames for hand-pounded out gas tanks, and knew how to use an English wheel, even though, this is SEMA, but, a lot of it's just association work. There's a few hot rodders and, there's a lot of hot rodders and enthusiasts in SEMA, but I think that knowledge, and it definitely helped when we were working on solutions. I had a project with General Motors that eventually became the E-Rod project, that you can go online and see the E-Rod line of engines. But my knowledge from my background and my hobby was really a driving force in helping create this solution. So the fact that I eat, sleep, and breathe vehicles and hot rods and cars helped create a new solution for the industry that we desperately needed. And so it adds, as a job candidate, you can add value. People want to look for prospects who add value. And if this is something you eat, sleep, and breathe, you definitely add value because you wake up in the morning thinking about it, you go to bed at night thinking about it,
Absolutely. So you also might recommend then, if someone's having a hard time finding a job, they're just out of college, maybe it's been a couple months, they should definitely keep delving into their passions and learning as much as they can about it, because it could translate to career skills as well.
Exactly. Don't let your passions go, don't let your hobbies go, because eventually that's something that's going to keep your interest long term and you want to work in. So keep that alive and keep kind of directing yourself, trying to find that ideal job you have in that sector. But, cultivating those passions. And, you want to be, employers like well-rounded people. They like seeing people who are involved in their community, who have passion about their lives and the world around them. And so keep developing all those things that you're interested in, because that does set you apart.